Duff here. How you doing? Another 3D printing video. First, let me just describe a scenario that I'm going through with my CR-10. I've removed all my auto leveling stuff, and I've gotten some good prints. I did a nice big. Let me close this door. I did a nice big lithophane the other day. What else did I print? I printed a big meshed skull on this, and it's been working good. But then I tried to print another copy of my EUC stands. I'll put a picture of them here. I've talked about them before. And that print, the parts for that print take up most of the bed. So ever since I replaced the hot end on this, I bought a whole new hot end assembly from Tiny Machines, which included the wires and a Bowden tube. I've had an issue because the tube itself was hanging down somewhat. And the reason that I assumed that was because I have the McEwen all-metal extruder, and it has this attachment here that's designed, I guess, to help with flexible filaments, but it sticks out further. So basically, I think what was going on was I had too much tube, too long for the dimensions that I was working with here, so it was hanging down as a result. So anyways, what happened when I went to print those parts for the unicycle stand is the tube, with my other prints, the prints didn't take up that much plate space, so it didn't really matter that this was hanging down. With that particular print, the tube was actually hitting the back part of the parts and messing up the print. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I got to finally address this. So first thing I did was I tried to see if I could just spin the tube to change the angle of it, from hanging down to hanging up. And I tried to spin it up here at the extruder side and at the hot end side, and it spun, but it didn't have any sort of permanent effect. So then I said, okay, well, I guess maybe I should just shorten the tube. So I took my dikes out, cut probably maybe 3 or 4 inches off, and then I took my little guillotine cutter and cut it again to give me a nice straight even cut, so it went in there evenly. So I did that, and I reinserted it into the extruder, and then I started having the dreaded problem with the Bowden tube popping out of the extruder. And that was the original problem that got me going into this black hole of mods and fixes, a month and a half ago. And at that time it was because presumably there was when I took it out to remove a clog, I never put it back together correctly, and then there was a series of partial clogs going on that was causing back pressure on the filament, which in turn would pop out the tube from the extruder. So lo and behold, this same behavior started again last night, and I'm worried that for me just jostling stuff around here, especially on the hot end side, that I might have inadvertently let the Bowden tube come up a little bit, maybe, which is giving a gap which can cause the clogs. I'm hoping that's not the case, because I have been able to remove filament cleanly. I haven't had to unscrew the collet here to get it out, which I did have to do with my original problem. So I'm still able to heat up the hot end and pull out filament normally. So I'm hoping all the problem is this collet here was not locked out. So I printed a couple of these collet locks. Basically, you insert your tube and then you jam this in, and it keeps the collet out. So it should, in theory, lock the tube into place as solid as possible. And I just swapped out my filament, and I'm letting the bed heat up to do a first layer test. So I'm hoping that all it is just this connection up here was funky for some reason, but with the way my luck with 3D printers goes, that might not be the case. So I'll let you know. Alright, will or will not the tube pop out? That is the question. Alright, luck is generally bad, so I'm still leaning towards the tube will pop out. Kind of looks like my bed's a little out of level because the filament is laying down lighter on the left side, which means that this actually might be a little bit too tight on the left. We'll just wing it. Yeah, the line looks pretty good on that side though, doesn't it? Up. Yep, there we go. See? Popped out again. Damn it. Okay. Alright, so there you go. It officially failed once again, even with my Bowden clip in there to lock the collet in place. So, I'm thinking that I'm going to have to frickin' rip into this again. Maybe put one of my Capricorn tubes in there and see if I have a partial clog. Who knows? Pain in the ass. So, here's my CR-10 update. Let's talk about the Neva again.